Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Saturday HOA Brunch, presented by Angius&Terry, LLP. Please sit back, relax, and join Brad Epstein and Jonathan Broderick for an hour of entertaining information about HOAs and HOA law.
Good morning, Sacramento. It's the Community Association Power Hour. It's the Saturday HOA Brunch.
Yes,
right?
Welcome, listeners, on this balmy Saturday.
I don't think it's going to be balmy today.
It's going to be, I think it's going to get up to like 78 degrees.
Really? Interesting fall weather in Sacramento. The original three, Viana Barbu, Brad Epstein, and myself, Jonathan Broderick. We are here to talk about community associations, their organizations. We interview business partners, community managers call in. We educate board members. What are we going to talk about today, Viana?
So today we're talking about CAI, the Community Association Institute, and we're also going to be reviewing some of the bills that were passed this year, and one trick bill that wasn't passed this year but is very important for homeowner associations.
You can call us at 888-923-1380. This is KTKZ The Answer. You want to listen to us, you can listen to us on just the regular old-fashioned radio, or you can get on your computer. That's what a lot of listeners do. They'll go ahead and they'll just hit KTKZ The Answer Sacramento and hit the play button, or you could get on iHeartRadio. You could get on your cell phone, too. So we have a lot of our listeners, our board members that are doing their morning walk. Instead of eating their HOA brunch, right? They're just doing their HOA walk and listening to us as well.
Cool stuff going on. Yeah, and check out our social media page, the Saturday HOA Brunch. We are on Facebook, right? That's required now if you're going to do anything.
And our contest, Jonathan?
Yeah, the bill number bonanza today, right? So just call in 888-923-1380 if you know the bill number that we are discussing.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and discuss a legislative bill for California, right? These are community association laws that have just been passed. They've just been passed and into law, and some of them don't come into effect immediately. But regardless, we're going to describe it. And so the game is, oh, that one sounds like this, so therefore it's Assembly Bill and then the number. Is that right? Do I have it right?
Absolutely right. But first, what should we do, right, Viana? We've got some more industry clout in studio. We want to introduce our guest.
That's right. So today we have guests in the studio, and as I mentioned earlier, we're talking about CAI. So we have the new president of CAI in studio, Greg Smith.
President-elect, right, Greg?
Good morning. Well, I'll be president-elect in 2016 and then president in 2017.
Oh, well, fantastic.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself in regards to how you got into this industry and how it's progressed, your career thus far?
Sure. Well, I got into the community management industry in 2002 in Southern California. I started on site at a 382-unit condominium complex in Valencia, California. And in 2004, I went to work for Valencia Management Group. And in 2010, we had an opportunity to relocate to Colorado Springs, Colorado. So I took the job with Associa as a branch manager for Colorado Association Services. And in 2014, I came to Northern California and became president of M&C Association Management Services. This year, January 1st, 2015, M&C merged with Massingham and Associates, and we became Associa Northern California. And I am now Senior Vice President of Client Services for Associa Northern California, and I work with approximately 55 community managers and an executive team, as well as approximately 450 associations across the state. I became a member of CAI's Association of Professional Community Managers Board of Directors in 2011. I was chair of APCM in 2014. I joined the CAI National Board of Trustees in 2012, and this year I was honored to be selected as CAI's president-elect for 2016. So that's
fantastic. So just heading, Greg Smith with Associate, just heading to the top. Wow, just what a fantastic story of your career, just getting higher and higher and higher and higher. Yeah, fantastic.
Well, tell us a little bit more than about Associa, right? Because we had Joe Price on our show, who is a colleague of yours, and before we started the show this morning, you just said, I really enjoy working with the people. We have an amazing team. Tell us a little bit about Associa and the team.
Absolutely. I truly believe that as a company, internationally, nationally, locally, I think Associa has the best team in the business, honestly. We have such a diverse range of experience. We are in approximately 30 states, several Canadian provinces, Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, and just recently Dubai and South Africa. I think Associa has the breadth of knowledge and experience and the resources that we can provide to our clients that simply no other management company can offer, just due to, again, size and capabilities.
Right, so it's all about the people. It sounds like that you have a lot of layers of personnel in order to make sure that the board members and the homeowners are happy with what they're purchasing, their monthly fee to the management company, and the services they get. It's all equaling out. Is that right?
Yeah, if you look at CAI as a national organization and as a local chapter organization, you will find associate staff at every leadership layer, from the board of trustees down to local chapter boards of directors, local chapter committees. CAI is filled with associate leaders. In addition, yes, bulk buying programs through Associate Advantage that are available to our homeowners. Just a wealth of resource, and I think we're going to probably talk a little bit more about those specific things a little bit later after we get into the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for some of our newer listeners, I know this week we have a lot of newer listeners. So CAI, that's Community Association Institute. And if you want to learn more about CAI, Community Associations Institute, you could go online on the internet, and they have a new web page, right, Jonathan? They really spruced that up.
Man, it's spicy now. I like it. Yeah, it's hip. It's up to date. It was a little bit prehistoric. But I'm really anxious to watch the website expand and continue to be savvy with what's up to date.
Yeah, so Community Association Institute it's a networking, clearinghouse, educational industry person, entity, and so you can get on there. You can really get a lot of good information if you're a homeowner at a community association or a board member. Now, Associa, that's a community association management company, Associate Community Association Management Company,
International Community Association Management Company.
Yeah. So one thing that jumped out at me from what you said, Greg, was that you are did I get this right? 55 managers that you are basically assisting them in providing community association services.
Correct. So here in Associa, Northern California, we have 10 offices in Northern California, and I directly work with community managers and their leaders, the branch managers, the vice presidents. My job as Senior Vice President for Client Services is to make sure that our clients are receiving the excellent service, essentially.
And you, I think in your biography that we posted on the Saturday HOA Brunch Facebook page, you oversee also the day-to-day operations, along with your community management team of, over 400 associations in Northern California?
At this moment, I believe it's 440 associations. And I certainly, just to be clear, the services provided by the community managers, my goal is to be a support to them. I could absolutely not do what I do without the excellent community managers that we have and our excellent leadership team.
Wow, that's exciting. Well, we're going to go to break here probably in about 30 seconds. So what do you think? The bill number bonanza. We're going to go over these bills.
Oh, I can't wait.
I mean, Clack's accomplishments.
Well, let's give people a clue about the bill we're going to talk about, so maybe they have a chance to Google it over the break. So the first bill we're going to talk about is the Personal Energy Conservation Bill, and it has to do with clotheslines. So if
I like
you know
that
the
title,
answer,
right?
Yeah. So if you know the answer and you want to call in, give us the Assembly Bill number, you're going to win $25.
Right. We'll discuss that when we get back.
All right. Stay with us.
We take time to understand your community's needs.
Silver Creek Association Management.
We solve small problems before they become big ones.
Silver Creek Association Management.
We help make your community a better place to live.
Silver Creek Association Management.
It's what we do, because an association is more than just a bunch of homes. It's a community of people. We work with you to make better communities so homeowners can enjoy better lives.
Silver Creek Association Management. Online at sc-manage.com. That's sc-manage.com.
If your community association has a good relationship with their current management company, you can stop listening. However, if you are struggling with your current service provider, we'd love to talk with you to see if Omni Community Management would be a good fit. Transparency, education, communication, and trust are just 4 of the qualities that set Omni apart. This is Rolf Crocker, CEO of Omni. Call us at 916-965-8964. That's 916-965-8964. Online at omni-mgt.com. That's omni-mgt.com. Omni Community Management, your friend in the community association management industry for over 20 years.
Have you ever heard of the saying, a person's home is their castle? Of course you have. But sometimes a construction defect can turn your castle into a catastrophe. If this happens to you, you need proper and professional representation. You need Angius&Terry, LLP. For over 30 years, the attorneys at Angius&Terry have been effectively serving homeowners and community associations, recovering more than $500 million on behalf of their clients. Angius&Terry strives to ensure that your construction defect claims are prosecuted in an aggressive and cost-effective manner. Angius&Terry will also continue to work with homeowners and community associations after the construction defect claims are concluded to make sure that the money received from builders is spent wisely and that your interests are protected during the repair process. Don't let a construction defect turn your castle into a catastrophe. Call Angius&Terry LLP today at 916-567-1400. That's 916-567-1400. Online at angius-terry.com. Angius&Terry LLP.
News, opinion, insight. AM 1380. The Answer.
You're listening to the Saturday HOA Brunch presented by Angius&Terry LLP. And now your hosts Brad Epstein and Jonathan Broderick on AM 1380. The Answer.
Hey, well, we're back. The Saturday HOA Brunch, America's #1 community association
and
radio talk show.
Greg just said, and I thought of this recently too. Greg just said, well, Brad, I thought there was going to be an actual brunch here.
Yeah, where's some bacon, some eggs.
Really.
Hey, Frank, can you run down to the CVS, get a bottle of that $5 champagne and some oranges? So, well, unfortunately, we do brunch afterwards, Greg.
Okay.
So pick a spot, Google it, Yelp it, and we'll find a good spot to get some brunch.
That is true.
The brunch in studio is imaginary. So, before we went to the break, we talked about, we gave a hint to the listeners about this first bill we're going to talk about. And so hopefully the lines are heating up and people are Googling the Assembly Bill number of this bill. It's the Personal Energy Conservation Bill, which Brad aptly pointed out is a very interesting name because the bill is actually about clotheslines. So this bill renders void any provision in the governing documents that prohibits or unreasonably restricts the use of clotheslines or drying racks. And it is called the Personal Energy Conservation Bill because, drying clothes outside saves you on your energy.
Right,
consumption.
I think that is a key thing to do when you are making a law. I've learned that over the years is to entitle your bill in a nice way so that it is inducive to people actually liking it. Personal energy conservation.
So that's a lot sexier than the clothesline bill, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well put, Greg. Yeah, so CLAC. So Clack. What? What'd you say?
Clack.
Clack, he said. So that is the Legislative Action Committee, in order, the arm of CAI, Community Association Institute, to push laws through or
advocate
with respect to these different bills. So 2015 accomplishments, CAI CLAC was able to make sure that this clothesline bill didn't become too intrusive on community associations. So basically what this says is that it renders void any provision in governing documents, which we know are all the documents that control community associations, from CC&Rs to rules, primarily bylaws, articles of incorporation. Those are the 4 ones. So it renders void any provision in governing documents that prohibits or unreasonably restricts the use of clotheslines or drying racks in backyards. And so until CAI CLAC got involved, this would have prohibited associations from restricting clotheslines in front yards. So I think that's a good thing CAI did.
What do you think, Greg, with your involvement in CAI and how this turned out with this bill? And call in with the bill number, and we're going to give you a $25 gift card. Can anybody do it? I don't know. Frank's holding up a bunch of numbers in the back, but he can't participate. What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, well, they better call in with the bill number because I can't stop myself from blurting it out in any second. So CAI generally believes that community associations have a right to govern themselves with minimal state or federal oversight. We believe that it is in a community's best interest to determine if clotheslines are right for them.
Right. I mean, an idea actually is that a community association could simply govern itself through its governing documents.
Correct.
Without any, I mean, why does there need to be any laws in place? For many years, there were no laws in place with respect to community associations. And over the years, the laws get bigger and bigger. What is the one that has to do with community associations, Viana? It's the Davis-Sterling Act. And so this bill is now going to be a law and is a law, and it concerns community associations only in the Davis-Sterling Act. So it's going to be right in there with all the other laws.
You know, in the bill in its current state is a nice compromise between strict government oversight and the ability of associations to determine what's right for them as a community.
Well, the whole reason why we wouldn't want clotheslines in the front yard is to hopefully keep some curbside appeal, right? It could get a little bit crazy when you're driving through a community and everybody's pajamas and nightwear are hanging out in the front yard, right? Am I right here? We wouldn't want to see that.
Nightwear is a good way to put it. Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to get,
I like nightwear.
We got to restrict what we say, but I've actually seen people taking advantage of using it in their backyard now, these clotheslines, and I think it's all about going green, right? Conserving energy, and so...
Right, so associations have to allow clotheslines in backyards, in homes and community associations.
Yeah, but they may restrict the use of clotheslines in the front yards and side yards, and also they may prohibit drying clothes on awnings, railings, anything that is not a clothesline or an official drying rack.
All right, so to sum it up, I guess it is CLAC's big accomplishment with this bill. We are hoping someone calls in with the number, but their goal was to make some amendments, right? They just weren't going to let homeowners have a free-for-all with clotheslines in their front and backyards or on the roof or anything like that. They have their restrictions, right, Epstein?
Right, so that's exactly what happened. So the law now provides that associations may not prohibit or unreasonably restrict the use of clotheslines or drying racks in backyards, and it says that, well, your railing, awning, and other parts of the structures, they don't qualify as the clotheslines. And in addition, associations can indeed implement reasonable restrictions on the clotheslines. So I don't know what they could be. I haven't really thought about that.
Maybe a clothesline that can't be seen from the common area, like you don't want one hanging really high, like 8 feet above your house. Maybe something like that.
Right. I think if you can look specifically at the particular community association themselves, that, case by case to see, okay, well, the way our association's designed, you have to keep them lower than, say, the fence line or something like that, and that might be reasonable.
Well, so this is a great opportunity for community associations, in light of the law, to determine what is going to be right for their community and their specific building structure and style.
Got it. I think you hit the head right on the hammer. So let's take a break. I don't think I said that right.
That was a great way of putting it. I like it.
Yeah, so we're going to go, back to CAI, right? We've got an opportunity here. We've got a gift card out there on the line if somebody wants to roll out of bed and turn on the Saturday HOA brunch. But so let's talk about the Community Associations Institute and why you're involved and how, the industry benefits from an organization that's national.
Sure. CAI, again, Community Associations Institute, more than 33,000 members currently, formed in 1973, so celebrated its 40th anniversary in 2013. Building better communities is really CAI's objective.
A sense of community too, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
We want community associations to be and feel like communities. 58 domestic chapters, and we have a chapter in South Africa. So there's a total of 59
I wonder
chapters.
if our buddy Dion Stein's been down there yet to visit.
To a chapter luncheon, perhaps?
Down in South Africa, yeah.
I wonder.
I believe that's where he's from, right?
Well, he's probably listening, so he'll call in momentarily.
I hope he does. We've got a big indoor soccer game tomorrow night. Go ahead, Greg. Sorry.
So in addition to those chapters, CAI has strong working relationships with housing leaders in other countries, Australia, Canada, United Arab Emirates, and United Kingdom. Really, again, our goal, inspire professionalism and effective community leadership. CAI offers a number of seminars, workshops, conferences, education programs, both at the national and the chapter level. So many of our listeners here may have been to a local CAI California North chapter luncheon, and if not, they should really consider doing so.
Or the golf tournament, right? You were out at
the golf tournament on the 12th. Was
great
a
event.
wonderful.
Legislative updates coming up. You're on that panel. That's November
19th?
Over at the Hilton.
I think most of the chapters have golf tournaments, so joining a chapter as a homeowner or board member just for the golf tournament's worth it, right?
Absolutely. Good food out there. I think, what did you have, some cold refreshments? And
we did.
Did you guys have the hot dogs out there? Were you guys doing hot dogs? That was somebody else.
Maybe next year.
All right. Well, go ahead, Greg.
In addition, CAI has, I believe, probably the greatest collection of resources available to members and non-members, books, periodicals, webinars, and all of that can be found at caionline.org. We've talked a little bit about advocacy this morning so far. CLAC, California Legislative Legislative Action Committee, excuse me.
There you go.
Just recently had our legal forum and planning session in Long Beach to map out what the goals will be for 2016.
How'd that go? What are some of the goals?
The goals are to advocate for responsible governance in Sacramento and other state houses around the country. Regulatory bodies talking, CIA spent a lot of time talking to and about FHA, VA certification, ham radio legislation that's coming up on the federal level. Finally, CAI conducts extensive research on community association trends, trying to figure out what the innovations and best practices are. And I think we might even talk a little bit about that later, but trends in community management such as short-term leasing, artificial turf, and the like.
Yeah, real important. You know, what I like about Community Associations Institute is their magazine, Common Ground. The Common Ground magazine that you get is really chock full of good information. It tells you the trends through the nation. It gives you the new laws that are being in effect, especially the federal ones. And it has different opinions and different fun stories that occur throughout the United States and now internationally with community associations.
It's pretty crazy. So, Viana, wouldn't you agree that these were probably some of the main bullet points that you're going to be able to expect when you are involved in a CAI? What are those bullet points?
You're talking about the benefits of joining a chapter for CAI. Yeah, there's a lot of benefits. So you get information and resources for managers, for board members, for even owners. I think, I don't know what owners that are not on the board would really want this much information, but if you want to be knowledgeable, why not? There's educational opportunities. Of course, there's networking opportunities. You can meet other board members, other managers, even vendors. And also you can learn about the legislation that's coming up, what CLAC is fighting for, what new legislation may be affecting you in the future.
Well, okay. Well, Epstein, this is a kind of a funky new jam that we've got involved in the Saturday HOA brunch, right? What? Celebration?
Absolutely. So when we come back, it's going to be another new bill.
We're going to offer the opportunity for another $25 free dollars. You can light it on fire.
Gift certificate, $25 gift certificate to anything of your choice.
Anything of your choice. So it's going to be about disclosure of FHA and VA certification.
Greg is chomping at the bit to get into this one. I can see him over there. We'll be back.
Hey, it's Flo, and this is my impression of a golf announcer who missed lunch. Here on the 8th green, and speaking of green, I could really use a garden salad right now. He's using the sand wedge, and a wedge of cheese sounds delicious, but this tournament's taking forever. Longer than the road trips you can take in your RV with coverage from Progressive. Does anyone have a bag of chips? Anyone? This isn't human.
Specialized coverage for your RV, starting around $10 a month at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. $10 monthly premium excludes fees and taxes and is not available in all states.
Andro 400, I really love it. I've lost 50 pounds. I was a size 38 waist. I've gone down to a 32 waist. My mood has changed. I don't get stressed out. It gave me so much more energy. It feels like I'm 25. I'm so happy. I'm just a completely different man.
Guys, if you'd like to see results like Dave Ryan's, try Andro 400, the safe, inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Did you see the story about the Homeowners Association? I wonder what their residents think.
I don't know, but I love my condominium association. The place looks great and is well managed, and our property values are increasing.
Well, that's a good thing.
Community Associations Institute, CAI, has helped us build a great community. They have tools for safeguarding our investment, including education for our board and professional training for our manager. Just visit CAI at responsiblecommunities.com.
Okay, responsiblecommunities.com.
Having trouble understanding your community association's reserve study? Does your HOA's reserve study seem to be written in a strange language? Hi, I'm Robert Browning, owner of the Browning Reserve Group. At the Browning Reserve Group, we have been providing easy-to-understand reserve studies since 1999. We actually listen to our communities and help them plan for the future. Find us online at browningrg.com. That's browningrg.com, or toll free at 877-708-0600. That's 877-708-0600. Clarity from complexity, the Browning Reserve Group.
Hi, this is Rick Russo, owner of Russo Insurance Agency and Financial Services. We proudly serve Granite Bay, Roseville, Rockland, Sacramento, Lake Tahoe, and the surrounding areas. At Russo Insurance Agency, we like to say, get to know us before you need us. Our insurance agency is built on relationships and trust. If you want to be certain that your most valuable assets are insured correctly, allow us to give you more than just a 15-minute quote. For all your commercial, home, auto, and life insurance needs, call us today at 916-791-1901. That's 916-791-1901, or online at rickrussoinsurance.com. That's rickrussoinsurance.com. Thank you.
AM 1380, The Answer.
You're listening to the Saturday HOA Brunch presented by Angius&Terry, LLP. And now your hosts, Brad Epstein and Jonathan Broderick on AM 1380, The Answer.
And Viana Barbu and Senior Vice President Greg Smith from Associa is in studio with us. And what's up next? The next Bill Bonanza. What, Bill? And then you got to guess the number. Pretty easy stuff.
That's right. So it's disclosure of FHA and VA certification. This is a new law, and it's going to require, as of January 1st, 2016. Viana, do you want to describe what this new disclosure of FHA and VA certification is? Disclosures by community associations, and it is bill number. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh, I almost had a heart attack. You have to call us and tell us what bill number it is. It's an assembly bill number that we're looking for, and I'm pretty sure if you just Google disclosure FHA and VA certification for condominium projects in California, you'll get it right.
And what do they win?
And whoever calls in and gets it right wins a $25 gift certificate to the place of their choice. So this bill is going to go into effect as of January 1st, 2016, and it will only affect condominium projects. So what this bill says is that in the annual budget report of a condominium project, you will now have to include a separate statement describing the status of the common interest development as either FHA approved condominium project or as a Department of Veteran Affairs approved condominium project. So either you're going to have to disclose that it's Federal Housing Administration approved or Department of Veteran Affairs approved.
Yeah, interesting law. Another disclosure for community associations. Another one on the long list, right, Greg?
I've got a little surprise, real quick. We have a caller that is going to play Guess the Bill Number Bonanza. So, and I think it's one of our biggest fans of the show and one of our good friends in the industry. Can you hear us, Deanna?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
All right, so are you going to take a crack at the FHA bill, or are you going to take a crack at the first bill, personal? What was the first bill that we discussed, Brad?
Personal energy. I have a lot of personal energy today.
Yeah.
No, I've got the FHA one because I deal a lot with that, and I believe that is AB 596.
Ding, ding, ding.
Wow.
Woo! All right.
Hey, Deanna, I have your email information, so on Monday we'll get a hold of you. We'll get a gift card of your choice, and thank you for calling and participating and paying attention to what Clack's accomplishments are.
Thank you very much, and I know FHA, that's why I'm the condo queen. Have a good night, guys.
The condo queen.
All right.
The queen of condominiums.
Hey, that's one down. That's one in. So go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Greg. You were saying.
Well, so Brad, budget disclosure season is on us now. do associations need to be putting this disclosure into their packets that need to be mailed by the end of November?
And what we think is it's a good idea. This actually doesn't go into effect until January 1st, and so no, you would not be in violation of the law if you did not do it. But what you'll see in, I think it says so even on the CAI webpage, maybe not, but I read it where it's get in the habit of doing this. Go ahead and put this disclosure down, and it is difficult now for community associations, just condominium associations, to be FHA approved. It's getting more difficult. There's a federal policy that's going into place that's saying, well, if you have particular rental restrictions, you can't be FHA approved. And what does that mean to be FHA approved? It means that purchasers of a condominium in a condominium association, they can get special financing through the federal government. These are government-backed loans, government-guaranteed loans. So arguably it's a good thing to get more people to qualify for loans for condominiums. Yeah, so it commences January 1st, 2016. That's the requirement that associations have to include in their annual budget report. And Greg, you mentioned the annual budget report. So this is the time of year when I get board members and community managers calling me and saying, oh my gosh, I never want to do this again. This is so difficult, putting the budget together. And of course, because what's important at community associations is how much the assessments are. And a lot of board members think that their duty is to keep low assessments. But we have inflation, and as associations age, the reserves must be funded. So is it your experience you have managers and board members getting a little bit stressed and anxious this time of year, Greg?
It always gets a little uncomfortable for board members when they determine that we need more money in the coffers. The reserves are not where they need to be, and utilities are rising, and we have unfortunately got to go to the homeowners and ask them to kick in a little bit more. It is not a board member's duty to keep assessments low. It is a board of directors' duty to maintain, preserve, and enhance the common area of the association. So while it may be difficult to go back to the owners in 2016 and say we need a little bit more money, it is the fiduciary duty of the board to protect the assets of the association and the individual investments of the owners.
Well stated. I think that it is universal. Everyone knows or has heard that or agrees that it is not within a board member's fiduciary duty to keep assessments low. It isn't. People, pets, and parking are important, but the infrastructure of the developments are more important, and that does take money, and the costs do go up. The costs of, like you said, utilities, that's always a big deal. And so it's a board member's duty to fund it, not to keep assessments low. A board member, I don't believe, has ever, there's no published court cases that provide that a board member has breached their fiduciary duty by allowing assessments to go up. I'm pretty darn sure. I've never heard of a case.
Yeah, well, do you think it would be a breach of their fiduciary duty if they didn't take the initiative to raise assessments and then hung the community out to dry? And maybe this would be a good question for the condo queen, right? And they didn't have the funds to do the maintenance projects that their reserves were going to require in the future?
Well, yeah, there is. The court cases generally talk about a dispute between homeowners and community associations that about infrastructure, reserves, making repairs, dispute resolution, and generally it's the pivot point is about spending money. For instance, there's a case about an association in Newport Beach where the association for years and years and years wasn't putting money into actually doing a sufficient repair of plumbing of the sewer lines, and year after year a particular condominium unit in Newport Beach would get
all Southern
inundated
California.
with sewer.
Crazy Southern California case law. Is that what resulted from this?
You're right. And so the court basically said that no, you can't turn board members. You can't just turn a blind eye to your repair obligations. It's not a choice of doing it, repairing or not repairing, there could be a question about how to repair it, and the courts will back boards as long as they do some kind of a repair. So you can't do nothing. You can't sit on your hands. You can't say, well, we're trying to keep our assessments low.
Well, you know what I want to talk about a little bit is CLAC, because we're talking about all these bills, and we mentioned CLAC before. So what is CLAC, and Greg, can give us any information on them?
Sure. Quickly, California Legislative Action Committee is a committee of CAI National and is CAI's advocacy arm in Sacramento. And actually, there are 35 state legislative action committees through CAI, and over 400 volunteers serve on those committees nationwide. So CLAC's main purpose is on behalf of the owners and board members of associations in California to do its best to make sure that legislation is reasonable and does not negatively impact community association owners and volunteers.
And CLAC actually does a lot of work every year helping associations reach their goals in terms of the new legislation that's coming out. So they've actually had an input on each one of these bills that we've talked about.
Correct.
Okay, so we have community associations that are subject to state laws. We have Community Association Institute with its Legislative Action Committee that helps to control how these laws are actually put into effect. A lot of these laws are put into effect based on anecdotal instances that are brought forth by individual homeowners that occurred at particular community associations. And that's how a lot of laws I believe, are put into sponsored in general. But in particular, Community Associations Institute is there to try and put a reasoned balance on that. It will be someone coming to their legislator and saying, "Oh, this terrible thing happened to me," and the legislator saying, "Well, let's make a law on that." Without actually getting any input from Community Association Institute, the law would come out bad, like that clothesline one. I don't think many would agree that it makes sense for clotheslines to be in front yards, especially when you're paying assessments for your association to make sure that your association is aesthetically pleasing. So with more than 33,000 members in CAI, we can have some clout with grassroots efforts, right?
Correct. And in California in particular, CLAC advocates on the behalf of somewhere between 43,000 and 50,000 community associations in California alone, and approximately 9 million homeowners. So when we go to Sacramento as CLAC, we say, these are the folks we're representing.
I got to do that actually this year on Legislative Day. Angius&Terry, the firm, sponsored a bus. We actually drove up from Stockton. I drove down there. We rode up on a bus with a bunch of board members from the Central Valley. Legislative Action with CLAC. You go and you walk up the Capitol steps. You go into all of the different offices of your representatives for the community that you live in. These are just senators, state senators, and things. And you lobby on behalf of Community Associations Institute, with your opinion of why or why not a certain bill should be pushed through or not pushed through.
And it's powerful when a business partner or a manager goes to Sacramento, but it's especially powerful when a homeowner volunteer goes.
Right, these are voters. So when we come back, we're going to talk about the artificial turf bill / law, and we'll want you to try and guess, you listeners, what the bill number is for the artificial turf law.
The bill number or the sound effects Frank's playing. It's a roller coaster on the Saturday HOA Brunch. We'll be back shortly. Stick with us.
Did you see the story about the Homeowners Association? I wonder what their residents think.
I don't know, but I love my condominium association. The place looks great and is well managed, and our property values are increasing.
Well, that's a good thing.
Community Associations Institute, CAI, has helped us build a great community. They have tools for safeguarding our investment, including education for our board and professional training for our manager. Just visit CAI at responsiblecommunities.com.
Okay, responsiblecommunities.com.
We take time to understand your community's needs.
Silver Creek Association Management.
We solve small problems before they become big ones.
Silver Creek Association Management.
We help make your community a better place to live.
Silver Creek Association Management.
It's what we do, because an association is more than just a bunch of homes. It's a community of people. We work with you to make better communities so homeowners can enjoy better lives.
Silver Creek Association Management. Online at sc-manage.com. That's sc-manage.com.
Hi, I'm Morgan Fussell. My company, Broadband Agreements, negotiates cable television and broadband right of entry, access, and compensation agreements for your communities. At Broadband Agreements, we offer a free review of all agreements with a signed letter of authorization. Broadband Agreements will improve your community's income and/or savings, or you don't pay us a dime. Visit us at broadbandagreements.com. That's broadbandagreements.com. Or call me, Morgan Fussell, directly at 916-939-5026. That's 916-939-5026. Broadband Agreements online at broadbandagreements.com or 916-939-5026.
The challenges presented by today's economy and rebounding housing market is forcing many homeowners association boards of directors to operate their HOAs more like a business. It's a balancing act of trying to stay solvent and still provide homeowners with quality amenities and services. One of the main challenges HOA boards are facing is attempting to recover unpaid HOA fees owed by delinquent homeowners. Collection efforts are often very time-consuming. If you want to get the HOA fees collection monkey off of your back, call ATC Assessment Collection Group. ATC is an attorney-supervised collection company, providing collection and foreclosure services to HOAs in both California and Nevada's most recognizable communities. Get back to what you actually volunteered to do as an HOA board member. Effectively oversee your community. Call ATC today at 916-641-1410. That's 916-641-1410. Online at atcacg.com. That's atcacg.com. ATC Assessment Collection Group.
News, opinion, insight. AM 1380. The Answer.
You're listening to the Saturday HOA Brunch presented by Angius&Terry, LLP. And now your hosts, Brad Epstein and Jonathan Broderick on AM 1380, The Answer.
Well, look at this. Another great sound by Frank Jolly as we come back from the break. And we're talking about bills and 2015 Legislative Action Committee accomplishments.
Right, so Brad gave everyone a hint that we're going to be talking about the artificial turf bill, and now we're going to have to talk about it, aren't we? So we're looking for a caller to give us the assembly bill number for the artificial turf bill or the clothesline bill. Any of those bills would count. All we need is the assembly number of the bill.
And what do they win?
And they win a $25 gift certificate to the place of their choice. I think it's a pretty good deal. So what is the artificial turf bill about, Brad?
Okay, so this bill, which is now law, it prevents any association from prohibiting an owner from installing artificial turf or, get this, synthetic surface that resembles grass.
Wait. We have Marcus from Sacramento that's called in. Marcus.
Fantastic.
Can you hear us, Marcus? Marcus, are you there?
Yes.
All right. And did you have the first bill that we discussed, bill number, or are you calling in because you currently have the bill that we've briefly just started to introduce?
Or maybe he just wants to join the conversation.
Yeah, maybe you do. What's going on, Marcus?
Yeah, so I was calling in about the clothesline bill. So I believe it's AB 1448.
Nice, solid.
There
Good
you
job.
go. That's two winners. Hey, so we'll get your information. Stay on the line, and Frank will write down your telephone contact number. We'll give you a call, and we'll get you a $25 gift card of your choice next week. How's that?
Sounds great.
Hey, great job, Marcus. That's solid. He
right.
just hit that one over the left field fence.
Here we go. Another caller. Ronnie. Can you hear us, Ronnie? Ronnie, are you there? Hey, Frank, can we switch it over to Ronnie?
Yeah, so we have another caller, and either they're going to guess another bill.
Yeah, briefly
or maybe they're just going to join the conversation.
Ronnie, what do you got for us?
This is the artificial turf bill is Assembly Bill 349.
Nice, solid.
Wow. Hey, Ronnie, thanks for
Crack.
calling. Are you calling from locally here? Do you live in an association? Are you a board member? Are you a community manager? Or just do you like listening about homeowners associations?
I just like listening to you guys.
Oh, fantastic.
Cool.
And from where do you hail?
Are you ever have a program on construction defects?
We will. Yeah, that one. Yeah, we are going to do that.
That would be a good one. Why don't we get your number and we will I'll give you a call on Monday. Maybe we'll talk about a construction defect program, and then I can also get your information to send you a gift card. How's that?
Okay, great.
So stay on the line with Frank, and he'll get your contact number. But thanks for calling in. So hey, that's 3 for 3. The first 3 bills, they crushed it.
Yeah, over the fence, all 3, 1, 2, 3, and it is interesting. The artificial turf law. I've seen a lot lately, though. Not a lot, but I've seen the installation of artificial turf.
Well, our friend Garth Leon, he's a Boise State guy. He goes, well, I'm going to put in the Boise State blue. I want to throw in the blue turf on my association.
So what
you think Serrano's going to let Garth put blue turf in his front?
I think associations should enact rules concerning the installation. Greg, with associate in studio, is nodding his head saying, oh, yeah, get some rules in place regarding artificial turf so it won't go with, crazy colors, right?
Well, do it now rather than wait until you have a request that's crazy. Determine what's right for your community now ahead of time and enact it.
Yeah, percentages of coverage, types, standards, quality, installation, and color. Color, absolutely. Okay, so
we suggest green.
Well stated, Greg. Okay, so Greg, we're going to go talk a little bit about what is it? We're going to talk about professionalism, goals. Oh, your goals as president. True?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll be president in 2017, and what I plan to focus on is going to take some time to formulate, but I've got a couple ideas. When I was chair of APCM in 2014, I felt it was really important to focus on manager professionalism for a number of reasons.
What is that, APCM?
Association of Professional Community Managers, Board of Directors. So
Okay.
that the APCM is the membership representation group for community managers and management companies, and they serve as a liaison to the Board of Trustees for CAI.
Okay, got it. With CAI. Okay, Community Association
Correct.
Institute. Yes, Jonathan.
Real
yes, something
quick, hey,
important to say.
It is super important. Ronnie, if you could hang up and call Frank back real quick, that way he can get your information before he plugs you into our on-air system. So if you could, Ronnie, real quick, just hang up, call Frank back, and get your contact information, and then we can get your prize sent out to you.
What is that? 888-923-1380?
888-923-1380. So back to the discussion. I think were you guys talking about Greg's goals as president?
Sure,
in CAI.
Yeah. I think that I would like to continue to pursue the importance of professionalism for community managers. It's a pretty big passion of mine, and I see some of you in the studio nodding your heads as well. So I know you have some stories that you could share at some point about the importance of manager professionalism. So I want to continue on that. I think it's really important that managers have dedication to the industry and to their craft. They have confidence in what they do, and that they hold themselves and their peers to high standards.
Excellent, Greg. As we bring this show to a close, I think it would be honorable for us to recognize the 1-year anniversary of one of the Omni family members, the fallen officer Danny Oliver. This 1-year anniversary when someone who really truly served community unfortunately passed away in a tragedy. So the HOA Brunch, we want to give a shout out to the Omni family. They obviously had a huge loss 1 year ago today.
Absolutely. And let's let Greg give the last word today. So it is really about professionalism. Make sure that the managers have respect and show respect.
Right. And I believe that a lot of the reason why managers don't have the respect that they deserve is because they don't ask for it. They don't carry themselves as professionals. They don't communicate professionally. Sometimes they don't dress appropriately for the situation. They don't speak confidently.